There's a new devil on the streets of Hell's Kitchen, and her timing couldn't possibly be worse. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Daredevil issue number 26 and find out together, shall we, in this tie-in to King in Black. So then, as we join the comic, Daredevil is still very much serving out his 2-year prison sentence, and it's a lot worse than he could have possibly imagined. You see, because Matt got sent to jail as Daredevil, ironically due to a law that he himself helped pass, he has to try that much harder to protect his secret identity and the fact that he's a blind lawyer. No reading Braille books, not even taking a painting class with the local priest. This basically means Daredevil is forced to sit there and use his super senses to listen to and absorb everything around him. A hobby which does not make him any friends amongst all the convicts. In fact, Marcus, the big individual here, gives Daredevil quite the tongue lashing over his behavior. If they didn't hate superheroes already for locking a good chunk of them up, now this guy gets special treatment, gets to wear a mask, and just sits there like he's better than the rest of them. At least when Luke Cage gets himself locked up, he doesn't wear a mask. Alright, so the crooks don't like him. I mean, that was pretty much a given, but surely the guards respect Daredevil's long history as a superhero. Actually, they don't. Turns out the warden's last name is Hollis. That should be familiar to any longtime Daredevil fan, as his son was actually the supervillain known as Crime Wave, a once aspiring district attorney who got brought down by Matt and Foggy Nelson. So yeah, the crooks hate him and the guards hate him more, and this is going to be a very, very long 2 years for the man without fear. Now, what's it like in Hell's Kitchen right now? Well, ELEKTRA, in her new role as Daredevil, is doing everything she can to try and keep the peace, though admittedly she's having a rough time here. Being a superhero comes with a learning curve that mostly involves not killing people, which is like literally the thing ELEKTRA is the best at, but she's still very much dedicated to showing Matt and the rest of the world that she can be serious and that Matt should get his act together and join her to form the Fist. A new organization powerful enough to crush the Hand once and for all, but hey, if dealing with regular run-of-the-mill gun runners was taxing on ELEKTRA, she ain't seen nothing yet. Because it's at that point one of the symbiote wyverns from the King in Black storyline ends up swooping down over Hell's Kitchen, because yes, Matt didn't always just deal with costume criminality, he also dealt with big Marvel events, which shows that ELEKTRA maybe has the worst luck ever. She's only been Daredevil for a couple days and already the whole Marvel universe is ending. Now where's Mayor Kingpin while all of this is going on? Well, Wilson Fisk is yucking it up with his high society friends, celebrating the incarceration of Daredevil, his most hated foe. We also get introduced to Wilson's new chief of security, Typhoid Mary, who continues to rock her crazy makeup look despite the mayor's very anti-superhuman stance. Heck, it even seems like there may be a little bit of a rivalry beginning to form between Mary and Wesley over the mayor's attention. When Knull and the other symbiotes attack, the mayor has to be whisked away to be kept safe during this time of crisis. Typhoid Mary covers the mayor's retreat, but ultimately ends up getting dragged down and overtaken by a bunch of the symbiotes. Oh, don't worry, I'm sure that won't be important later. Now from there, we transition on over to something completely different. A young woman is getting pulled out of a sleazy bar by her mother. The two end up having a fight and the daughter runs off, only for them to again run directly into the path of a bunch of rampaging symbiotes. The mother gets taken over and ELEKTRA has to jump on in to save the young girl. This is the type of scene we've seen a million times in superhero comics, but what makes this particularly interesting is ELEKTRA's own internal monologue as she wonders, why the hell am I saving this stupid, insignificant person? I should be trying to deal with the source of this threat. Also, hey, nice little artistic touch here as Daredevil ELEKTRA still carries her trademark size, but they're blunt at the end now instead of sharp. Dealing with one or two symbiote mooks is easy enough for the new Daredevil, but things end up taking a rather unexpected turn when symbioted Typhoid Mary shows up looking for a fight. But believe it or not, this crazy climactic showdown is going to have to be put on the back burner as we actually have something more important to do back at the prison. You see, Daredevil, because of his amazing senses, hears of the symbiote invasion before anyone else. He begs to be let out of his cell so he can help the guards defend the prison, but unfortunately they all end up getting absorbed. He does find his way out of his cell eventually, but at the worst possible time. It would seem that Knull recognizes the amazing power in Matt Murdock and as such decides to join with him. After all, with Knull's godlike power and Matt's own fearlessness, together they will truly be unstoppable. And oh look, Daredevil's symbiote costume comes complete with big dumb horns like he was rocking at the end of Shadowland. I see what you're doing here, comic. And so that was Daredevil issue number 26, and you probably don't need me to tell you, but it was pretty damn good. The sort of special tie-in that doesn't actually feel like a tie-in at all, but an organic continuation of the story. ELEKTRA is turning into quite an interesting Daredevil herself. I love her internal monologue wherein she has to battle against her own murderous nature, all in an attempt to try and prove to Matt that she's worth a damn. There's a real kind of air of superior Spider-Man about it. I love stories wherein bad people try and do the right thing, even if it makes them deeply uncomfortable to do so. I also really appreciate Zdarsky putting a new twist on the whole Daredevil in jail concept. We've seen it a lot over the character's history, but this time it actually feels fresh and different. Honestly, doing a tie-in to a big Marvel event this early when a new character takes up a new mantle could probably have been disastrous for any other book, but Zdarsky and company continued to just bat 100 on this thing, which honestly just makes me love the whole thing that much more, which is why I give it a very much deserved 9 out of 10. Pick this one up, even if you read no other King in Black tie-in.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.